Okay, hey everybody, we are here with Snow White and the Seven Dwarves as our first movie. And Fuji, how do you feel about this movie?
As we were saying, the subtitle for this movie is basically "I'm 14 and what is this?"
It really is.
It really is. So for people who are unfamiliar with this fact, Snow White is the first animated full-length feature film.
In the States,
Uh,
the first feature film that's like animated is probably Prince Achman, which is done with shadow puppets.
that's right. That's right.
And then the one after that, Great Dinosaur, kind of came out around the same time. I can't remember. I think that was a European company, but it's one of the first ones. It's definitely the first one in the States that came out.
Also, can I tell the anecdote that I told you that is my favorite anecdote about Snow White?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Is so when the premiere of Snow White was about to happen, apparently Walt Disney was getting ready at his house, and he says to his wife, "We gotta hurry up. We gotta get to the premiere, or else there's not going to be any seats left." And Lillian, right? What's her
Yeah,
name?
Lillian.
Like looks at him and says, "Are you telling me that your company will not save you a seat at the premiere of your movie?"
He was really concerned about it.
Very concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, according to The Illusion of Life, which is a book written by Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnson,
Yep.
apparently they ended up saving him 4 seats because nobody wanted to sit next to him at the premiere of the movie.
Oh my god. That's so beautiful.
Anyway, but jumping back a little bit, the fact that this is, the first attempt by the Disney Studios or, anyone in the States to make a full-length feature animated film, a lot of the animation, although it generally holds up very well, is still extremely wonky in places, and
Sure
I love
is.
it.
Oh my god, me too.
The fact that the prince he took like a total of 2 normal steps,
Yep.
and then he high steps off at the end, and his cape kind of obscures most of it.
And for those who are not in the know, Disney, the reason why the prince isn't in the movie that much is because they couldn't figure out how to animate men. Because the animation was like all flowy and movie and sway, so which worked fine if they want to do a female character.
You gotta watch Goddess of Spring.
Yeah, this was made like that. Goddess of Spring came out like 3 years before.
Just before it, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like 3 years.
Big animation difference, but anyway, they couldn't figure out how to animate the prince, so they had to reduce his role. And you can tell in the movie that they animate his legs and hips as little as possible. As little as possible. Like, he's on a horse. Now he's behind a well. Now Snow White's in front of him because he's carrying her. And the few times you do see him move, you can tell.
Obscure everything.
Yep. They make sure they hide it. So, like, otherwise the prince is doing high kicks and, like, swaying and sliding throughout the time you can see his legs. The 3 minutes you can see his legs in this entire movie.
But like that too, like, if you jump back to that,
Mhm.
the fact that the prince's role basically got cut down way in this movie, because, the big criticism everyone has of Snow White is that it sets up this cliche of, like, she barely knows this guy, and then he kisses her, and he carries her off into the sunset. And I think that what we're missing is a lot of the context that was out, around the time the movie came out. There were comics, there were all kinds of things that got more into them as characters. And just for technical reasons, there were a lot of things that they weren't able to show in the movie.
Right, and also they ran out of money.
They ran out of money, definitely.
They ran out of money, they ran out of time, they ran out of everything making this movie. Like, if this movie bombed, we wouldn't have the Disney company we know today, at least.
Oh, not at all.
No, like, I'm not even sure if we would have the Disney company. I think Walt would have kept trying.
Because they said Pinocchio cost way more money than Snow White did.
Yeah, that was the second one.
Yeah, Pinocchio, and I love Pinocchio, but, yeah, like, if this movie hadn't taken off, and I mean, that's the thing, too, is that this movie is, like, the trope codifier for so many things.
Oh, God, yeah.
When it came out, a lot of the criticisms that we're able to have now, 70 years later,
yeah.
I mean, just at the time, these were super groundbreaking things.
Oh, yeah, like the Disney villain death thing. Like, this is the first one where the witch falls off the queen falls off the cliff.
Was, like, super shocking. Like, you didn't have that happen in cartoon shows.
Exactly. Like, most people in the States, at least, were used to, like, the shorts, goofy shorts, Mickey bouncing around and doing weird stuff, and it just being really goofy. But then this climax at the end when the dwarves are chasing the queen to try and get revenge for Snow White going down, and then she like that boulder falls on her, and I can imagine everybody being like,
clutching the pearls,
clutch the pearls in the 30s, like, and like people were crying when she was dead, like when Snow White was asleep, and
it's a super dramatic thing, and it just had never been done in that sort of format before.
No, it was very new territory. In fact, not a lot of people thought this was gonna work.
Because they called it Disney's Folly.
Yup, that's what the newspaper called it.
Disney's Folly.
Everyone's like, what are you doing? No one's gonna want to watch this.
Roy Disney was like, what are you doing?
Poor Roy Disney.
Don't do the thing.
Well, Disney's big brother tried a lot.
Tried really hard.
He did his best. He's the reason why we even have the Disney company.
We gotta get to Mr. Mole.
Oh my god, yeah, we do. But Mr. Toad is a little bit ways out.
Yeah, it's always...
So
what are your feelings now that we've hit like 5 minutes? What are your feelings?
About Snow White?
Yeah.
I think it's really good. It holds up really well, I think. I mean, is the story kind of weak? Yeah. But they did their best with what they had, and I think it tells like a simple but pretty good story.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the most progressive story? No. But I don't think that's the point here. Plus, it was their first go-around, and this is what they had. Like, this is it.
And they definitely, like, there were several times during the movie when I kept saying, they're playing to their strengths. Like,
yes.
The bits with the queen, and honestly, like, even the bits with Snow White, like, she's not moving around a whole lot.
The
like,
animals are.
The animals are, the dwarves are, and I mean, the witch does. And those are the things that they were really good at animating. And so it's like, I can understand why... And I mean, it was also Walt Disney's favorite fairy tale.
It was one of his favorites, yeah.
But I mean, it definitely was the right choice for them to start as, their first big project.
Right. I think the original idea was to do Alice, though, because they did the Alice cartoons for a little while.
Well, Alice kind of got put on the back burner for a while.
Oh, yeah. Which I think is a good idea in the long run, because then you got to get Mary Blair on it. Jeez. So good. We'll get to that when we get to Alice, but... Oh man, yeah, the backgrounds in Alice in Wonderland are gorgeous, don't you think so?
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Mind trip. Like, this is a good-looking movie still, I think.
It holds up very well. Oh gosh, except there's so much clipping through the doors.
Oh my god, we found clipping like 20 times.
We watched it we watched the DVD version. So on VHS or whatever, it probably wasn't as noticeable, but oh my gosh, there's so much clipping.
You could also notice when the cells got too dirty, like when the dwarves were going to sleep, like there was that layer of dust, and I'm like, oops. Someone didn't clean this up. When they were putting the cells together, they probably just didn't have time anymore.
Oh, and I was gonna say major props to the special effects department.
Yeah.
Because, like, you
Shout out,
forget
man.
about it, but, all the water, all the rippling, like, all that's all drawn by hand.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Frame by frame.
Wait till we get to Bambi.
24 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's super crazy.
It's wild.
To think about.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have the patience for that, like.
And it makes me wonder, like, what would Walt Disney have done if he had, all of the technology that's available today? Because, I mean, I'm reading the anecdotes in this book, and they're saying that, like, his whole thing was, how can we do the most stuff with the least amount of money? And I just feel like, that sort of resourcefulness, if he had today what we have...
That'd be so interesting.
Like, so much really cool stuff could have come out of that.
Mm-hmm, yeah, this is the beginning. So, like, Snow White was one of the movies that they would release in theaters before VHSs were a thing. They would release it in theaters if they would need money. They're like, oh my god, we're running out of money. What do we put in? Snow White or Cinderella? Okay.
Cinderella, go for it.
Cinderella, Snow White, get that money in this. It would make the money. It worked every time. Like, people would go to the theaters and see it again. Like, then the VHSs happened, and Disney makes their money back way more with home releases, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think that market ended up being a good thing for them, actually.
Oh, far and away, yeah.
Uh-huh. So it would have been a lot different if they didn't have it.
Yeah.
They didn't have the Disney Vault.
And I mean, kind of in a way that sort of the prevalence of, having VHS and having DVDs, like, changes the sort of culture, I think, that, well, you can see the time here.
I can see the time, yeah.
Like, kind of, changes how we look at, like Disney princess culture and things like that, because at the time, like, you only would have seen it in the theaters.
Yeah, you wouldn't have seen it, like, anywhere else.
It could not be as prevalent as it is today.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, like, it is a big difference, honestly. Yeah. That's why they have things like the Disney Vault.
So we're creeping up on 10 minutes, so...
Yeah, we're trying to keep these short so we can watch everything. Otherwise, we'd literally be here all day discussing one movie.
I mean, we'll be here all day. Anyway.
I mean, yes. All right, cool. So I guess we're
last thoughts on Snow White.
Snow White's excellent. If you should look at it, especially if you're interested in the history of animation. Like,
definitely a landmark film.
Hell yeah, like, oh, so good. So our next movie is going to be Pinocchio. See you then.